Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Kombumerri people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello, fabulous Squiz Kids listeners, and welcome to the Kids vs Adults Bumper Holiday Squiz on ANZAC Day and Australia at War. I'm Christy Kijarina. Now, all through the year in the Squiz Kids Daily Podcast, we've been bringing you the big news stories of the day run through our kid-friendly filter to make sure you know all you need to know about the world around you. And at the end of every week, we've tested how much you've retained in the Kids vs Adults Weekly News Quiz. But now, because it's the holidays, we're presenting some bumper Kids vs Adult quizzes on some fun topics just to see who's smarter, kids or adults. Here's how this quiz works. 10 questions for kids about ANZAC Day and Australia at War, then 10 questions for adults. Whoever answers the most correct questions wins. Easy peasy. Are you ready? Let's do this. All right, kids, here are your 10 questions. Question number 1. Which bright red flower is worn on ANZAC Day to help us remember soldiers who have died in war? I'll give you a hint. It starts with a P and is also a girl's name. That is P for Poppy. Did you get that? Question number 2. Where did most of the fighting happen during World War I? Was it A, in Australia, B, in Africa, or C, in Europe? And you need to think muddy trenches and freezing winters. If you said C, Europe, you are correct. Question number 3. Which delicious snack was baked by mums and wives of soldiers and sent overseas to lift their spirits during World War I? You might have seen them in the supermarket recently. What are they? I hope you all got this one. They are ANZAC biscuits. Question number 4. During which war did the Gallipoli campaign take place? Was it A, the Boer War, B, the Great War, which was later called World War I, or C, World War II? It was B, the Great War, also known as World War I. Question number 5. The soldiers from the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps had a shorter name. What were they known as? I'll give you a little hint. It starts with A and it ends with a C. I hope you got this one. They were the ANZACs. Question number 6. Take a listen. What is this solemn piece of music heard at ANZAC Day ceremonies around the country called? Is it A, The Last Post, B, Waltzing Matilda, or C, Advance Australia Fair? That's right, it's The Last Post and it's played on a bugle. Question number 7. Now, there's a famous story about a soldier named Simpson who rescued wounded men at Gallipoli. What kind of animal helped him carry them to safety? And a little hint, it had quite long ears. No, it wasn't a rabbit. That story is about Simpson and his donkey. Question number 8. The Gallipoli campaign was long and tough, and eventually the Anzacs had to retreat in defeat. Is this statement true or false? It is in fact true. Question number 9. In which country would you find Gallipoli? Is it in A, Turkey, B, Germany, or C, in England? Well done if you knew that Gallipoli is in Turkey. Question number 10. Last question for you kids. On which date do Australians and New Zealanders mark ANZAC Day every year? You got it right if you said April 25. How did you go, kids? How many did you get right out of 10? Reckon you're going to beat the adults? Oh yeah, I reckon so too. All right, adults, now it's your turn. Fire up that old grey matter. Here we go. Question number 1. Which campaign marked the first major military action fought by Australian and New Zealand forces in World War I? Was it A, Kokoda, B, Gallipoli, or C, Tobruk? Nice work if you said it was B, Gallipoli. Question number 2. Due to the heavy casualties and lasting impact on Australia's national identity, the Gallipoli campaign is often described as Australia's baptism of what? Well done if you said baptism of fire. Question number 3. The Ode of Remembrance is a part of a poem often recited at ANZAC Day ceremonies. What 3-word phrase is spoken in response after it is read? It's a very solemn time when we say, lest we forget. Question number 4. The very first ANZAC Day was marked in 1916 with rallies and parades, including 2,000 troops marching through London. But just 3 years later, in 1919, commemorations were much smaller. What global event caused this to be the case? People wore masks and had to stand a metre apart. It was a global flu pandemic way back in 1919. Question number 5. Two Up is a traditional Australian game played on ANZAC Day. What do we call the person who tosses the 2 pennies in the air? Is it A, the spinner, B, the tosser, or C, the boxer? It is A, and we say, come in, spinner. Question number 6. The Kokoda Track campaign during World War II is famous for showcasing the ANZAC spirit of endurance and mateship. In which country is the Kokoda Track located? You'll find the Kokoda Track in Papua New Guinea. Question number 7. Which international organisation dedicated to promoting peace and cooperation did Australia help establish after World War II? And I'll give you a hint, it's a biggie, and its headquarters are in New York City. Great work, adults, if you knew that it is the United Nations. Question number 8, bringing it back home now. Which Australian capital city was bombed during air raids by Japanese forces during World War II? Did you get this one? It is Darwin. Question number 9. This is a true or false question. On May 31, 1942, during World War II, 3 Japanese midget submarines entered Sydney Harbour and later fired on Sydney's and Newcastle's eastern suburbs. Is this true or is it false? It is in fact true. Question number 10, and it's the last one we got here so quickly. In which year was the centenary of the landing at ANZAC Cove commemorated? Centenary is 100 years later. The landing happened in 1915, so the centenary was in 2015. How did you go, adults? How many did you get right? Did you beat the kids? Who took the crown home this week? All right, we've given your brain cells a workout, so now it's time for...
Shout-outs.
And of course, because it's a Friday, and for some of you it's the last Friday of the school holidays, we're going to crack out that old birthday reggae tune. Hit it! And it's a very happy birthday to Jax from Dundas Valley, Isabella from Bendigo, Liam from Altona Meadows, Arabella from St Clair, Cooper from Borkham Hills, Maddie from Baroa Heights, Laurie from Latham, Addison from Perth, Brunel from Oran Park, Tommy from Orange, Sage from Parabadoo, Theodora from Carlingford, Jenny from Wentworth Point, Zara from Yass, Danielle from Caringbah, Mila from Macedon, James from Forest Lake, Tyson from Ashmont, Lakira from Gatton, Luke from Canberra, and Manny, Sophie, Amaya and Lila, all from Walkervale. Well, that's all we've got time for. I really hope you've been enjoying these quizzes. And if you're hanging out for something to do over the holidays, we have a whole back catalogue of them for you to listen to. And the best bit, they're all free. Check it all out at squizkids.com.au or find it in the Squiz Kids feed of your favourite podcasting app. And remember, if you subscribe, all this excellent content will magically appear. Bryce will be back with you on Monday with Squiz Kids Today. For now though, this is Christy Kijarina signing off and reminding you all to get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.